Week 5 is upon us. We are going to give you some trade targets, trade for, trade away for this week. We're also going to give you an update on our league, the Fellowship of the Fantasy Ring. And of course, we're going to take you through the Thursday night football matchups. So let's get straight to it.
Welcome to the FantasyLand Football Podcast.
Okay. Welcome into the pod. My name is Zach. I am a co-host. I am here with my other co-host, Daniel Badaki. Week 5, Badaki.
That's right, week 5.
We're well and truly into the middle of the season. This isn't, the shine is worn off. Not for me. Has it worn off for you?
Nah, not at all. It still feels like we're just getting started. There's still so much more football to be played. But consistency is key, and week 5 brings you consistency.
That's right. If you lost all your matchups like I did last week, don't worry. Week 5 is coming soon, and there will be time for redemption. It is Wednesday, the 7th of September.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Welcome in to the podcast. So glad to have you here. Hey, we do monthly giveaways for signed jerseys, signed sports memorabilia. This month, we have partnered with RSA, and we are giving away an Odell Beckham signed jersey.
Huge.
Head to our Instagram at FantasyLand Football to see how to enter. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd like to watch the podcast. Hit the notification so you don't hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. And of course, you can listen to the podcast on virtually any podcast platform in the world. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get straight into it.
What is going on here?
Need to know news.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to tell you what's been going on around the National Football League, things that you should be aware of as a fantasy football owner. Bye weeks.
That's right. 2 teams, Detroit and Green Bay. Obviously, Kenny Galladay's, Matthew Stafford's, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, all those guys. Make sure you take them out of your lineup. Plug in the people that you need. These are the guys. This is the time where it's gonna feel like you're struggling. Like Aaron Jones, that's a big loss there for people.
Mm-hmm.
Not a loss, but he's in a bye week.
Adrian
A lot of
Peterson.
points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson, Marvin Jones.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna replace him.
Oh no!
Look, here's the deal as well. If you had anyone from Pittsburgh or Tennessee last week, now you are cheering.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have to worry about this anymore with those players.
Mm-hmm. Get them out the way.
Exactly. It's out of the way. But yep, if you have any Lions or Packers, make sure that you are aware that it is their bye week.
Yep.
Julio Jones obviously left Monday Night Football with a little bit of a hamstring injury, the injury he's been dealing with. Did not practice on Tuesday.
No.
And we are waiting for reports today, but this doesn't look great, does it?
No, it doesn't look great at all. It's sad. It's sad. I think Julio Jones, obviously, you drafted him pretty high, maybe in the first round, second round, however your draft went. But I think Julio Jones could be out for another 2 to 4 weeks. In my opinion, we haven't heard anything yet. He re-injured that hamstring. And then also Mike Evans. Mike Evans also didn't practice on Tuesday. He obviously, if you were watching that game against the Chargers, he was limping on and off the field. He was playing through that injury. It looked like it hurt. Once again, did not practice. So I'm definitely watching out if he's going to be playing that game because Chris Godwin's out. So who's the next guy up? And is mini, I don't know, doppelganger. Julian Edelman, doppelganger.
Yeah. Could be big signs for Scotty Miller. I was trying to remember his name. Could be a great sign for him. Here's some sad news. The 49ers released Mohamed Sanu.
Oh, no.
This feels dirty to me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but how are you going to sign a player for 2 or 3 weeks and then just be like, oh, our guys are healthy. We don't need you anymore. Thanks, bud. Thanks for investing into the team.
It's like when you used to go to the basketball court and play basketball, and the top player just needed to get some water because he was doing so much, and you got the guy on the sidelines, bro, come in really fast. You came in, you probably scored a point, play some great defense, and then the guy came back and he's like, oh, sorry, man, you got to go.
Sorry, bro, my friend's here. Oh,
yeah. You
okay.
didn't want me to play?
Cool.
Oh,
cool.
all right.
I'll just go do something else by myself.
Yeah.
Good news here. Titans, they went 3 consecutive days without any positive tests. Potentially could return to practice today. If they do, that is great signs for every Titan, I guess.
That's right. That's huge. That's what you want to see. No, hopefully no one else gets COVID, and we can continue with football. Well, that was a big scare there for sure.
Definitely was a big scare. We're doing something a little bit new. What we're doing is every Wednesday on the podcast, we are going to take 2 questions from the FantasyLand community. So this week, we put up a we put up an Instagram story on our Instagram. And we said, what do you guys want to know from the Fantasyland community? What do you want us to talk about? And we are picking 2 questions each week. First one is from eli.mac.foe. Pretty sure that means family over everything. DM us and tell us if we are correct. Here's a question from him. Shout out to Eli. It's, should we consider not drafting great players that have had a bad supporting cast? For example, Saquon. Interesting.
Very interesting. Wow. I think that you definitely take into consideration.
Yeah.
But you have to remember they just have so much pure talent. Someone like Saquon, obviously I'm a Giants fan. I'm taking Saquon every single day of the week if I needed to.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like,
here's a thought I had. And I don't want anyone to think I'm comparing these 2 players. Let's all remember how everyone felt about Le'Veon Bell when he went to the Jets that first year. He was a first round pick, right? Le'Veon Bell, he still probably is a very talented player. And to be clear, Saquon is probably a better running back than Le'Veon from a talent perspective in their primes, I would say.
I think so.
Some people will say that's incorrect. However, whatever, it's close. But he was a first round pick, and this is a great example because the Jets as an offense were terrible and they still are terrible. And that creeped into Le'Veon Bell's fantasy relevance, slowly slipping away.
Right.
The Giants don't look good this year on offense.
Right.
Not at all. I get where the question is coming from.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the past. The one thing I can think of is Adrian Peterson when he was at Minnesota. If I remember correctly, I don't think he had the best line. He didn't have the best line in the league, but it was Adrian Peterson, and you always took him first because it was AP. I think of Barry Sanders. I don't think, if I recall once again, I don't think he had the best line. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But like he always got away. He always got open somehow, some way. So I think Saquon is somebody that, once again, is just pure talent. Le'Veon can do those things. He just hasn't had really the opportunity in full swing, if you think about it. But
I would say to answer the question, I would not be shying away from drafting Saquon next year.
Yeah, same. He's definitely going to be dropping, but I'm not shying away.
Yeah, he won't be a top 3 pick, but he will be a first rounder. Our second question is from Liam. Shout out to Liam. He says, Julio Jones or Devontae Adams rest of season. I think it's pretty easy for both of us.
100%. Devontae
Adams.
That's right. Detective Adams, look, obviously with Julio being injured, I don't think you can really trust it. Adams was out for the 3 or so far now 3 weeks or 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he just has the better quarterback. He has the better offense. He has the better overall supporting cast. And Devontae Adams is going to surpass Julio. Julio's just injured. Ooh, there's too many mouths to feed now, which surprisingly, it was always Julio. But now you have Calvin. You have, Hayden Hurst, Todd Gurley. Like, Julio's still there. He's still going to get the touches, but he's hurt. That's all. That's really how we're comparing this, his injury.
Yep. Hey, before we get into Thursday night football matchups, we want to tell you a little bit about RSA, Rochester Sports Autographs.
Mm-hmm.
This is our partner for the month with the signed jersey giveaway. We are excited to announce that we have partnered with RSA Sports Memorabilia. So what does that mean for you? Well, that's very good news for you. As you know, we do monthly giveaways. And man, we love giving away free stuff. But you already know that. So let's tell you a little bit more about RSA and why we believe they are the go-to for all things sports memorabilia. Did you know that most signed sports memorabilia companies don't actually work directly with the athletes? Did you know that?
Nope. Not at
They
all.
use third-party companies, but not RSA. RSA makes deals directly with the athletes in bulk, so you can always get the best deals in the industry. RSA is also the largest JSA authenticated autograph distributor and promises a money-back guarantee on all products.
Wow.
So head to shoprsa.com for all your signed sports memorabilia needs. Again, shoprsa.com.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you there.
Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for some football?
Thursday night football. It's great.
You gotta love it.
It's great to have 3 days of football.
That's
Thursday
right.
night, we got a matchup. It's an interesting one.
Very.
Bucks at Bears. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. Bucks at Bears. Over under 44. I think the Bucks are 2-2. If I'm correct.
I think they're 3-1.
3-1? Oh, they're both 3-1 then. Bucks are
both
3-1. Bears 3-1. At Soldier Field.
Soldier. At Shoulder Field.
Shoulder Field.
Shout out to them shoulders. We got some strong shoulders in Chicago.
That's right, in Chicago. Look, Bucks side of the ball, obviously you're starting Mike Evans if he's healthy. Really, that's the only person I can tell you in confidence to start. And Ronald Jones, if Fournette is still out. I think there's a lot of question marks on this team right now. I'm not starting Tom Brady with confidence. I am not starting Gronk with confidence.
Are you sure, bro? Because Tom Brady just put up like 33, 35 points, bro. You're not starting the GOAT, man?
Nah. No. Look, he's still the GOAT, but I'm still not doing it.
That was way too obnoxious for me. Yeah, look, you're not starting Tom Brady. You're right.
No.
I don't think it's a great matchup either. But let's talk about Scotty Miller. To be clear, Gronkowski, we are not starting with any confidence. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yes, O.J. Howard is out. We're still not starting Gronk with confidence. Let's talk about Scotty Miller here. Okay? Even if Mike Evans plays, Scotty, in my opinion, is a really good flex play.
That's right.
This week.
I think so as well. I think so as well. Look, he had a decent performance last week. The week before, if he didn't drop that pass that he was wide open for a touchdown,
oh my gosh. Yep.
it would have been we would be having a whole different conversation right now, and we wouldn't be on the fence with him. I think Scotty Miller has opportunity. Like I said, I liked it from, I think it was week 2 when Chris Godwin got hurt. I said Scotty Miller was my Hail Mary. And I think he is a good pick. He's a good pickup. Like it was Tom Brady likes the slot receivers. Scotty Miller is in the slot. He's going to have the opportunity.
He will have the opportunity. Last week, put up 83 yards and a touchdown, finishing with 19.3 points. However, he is currently not practicing. So something to monitor, okay?
Yeah.
All these, it could very well just be load management. Scotty Miller's not practicing. Mike Evans is not practicing. Chris Godwin is not practicing. My goodness. Someone please get healthy. If Miller is healthy, I think he's a great flex play. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. The Bears. A-Rob was our trade for candidate last week, and boy, did it pay off if you traded for him.
Yeah, absolutely. A-Rob, look, with Nick Foles in, even when he wasn't in, he was still targeted tremendously. A-Rob is somebody that you must start. You just have to. A-Rob and then Anthony Miller, we're not starting with confidence, so don't start him with any doubt. Like, I wouldn't be starting. I started him last week. He gave me 4 points. Disappointed. I could be dropping him this week right now because of all these other options that I like a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think you can start Miller with any confidence. David Montgomery, you are starting. Here's the thing. Tampa Bay is actually a pretty good defense. And props to you, Badaki, because you actually said this before the season started, that the Bucs are a better defense than you thought other people thought they were.
Yeah.
This is probably a high volume finishing with 10 to 12 points game, right?
Yes, correct. I think the way I see this, I see that the Bucs are going to be leading maybe by like 7 points, 14. It's going to be 14-3 by the half. They're going to abandon the run. Monty is going to be catching the ball out in the backfield. That's how I see it playing. Once again, it's not a high scoring. Monty is probably going to get tops 12 points. I don't see him going crazy. And if he does, that's even better.
But, and with that being said, you have to play him if you have him. That's
100%.
the reality. I mean, the
100%.
reality is he could very easily fall into the end zone twice and have 20 points and still have an inefficient game against the Bucs.
Yes.
Jimmy Graham, I don't think we're starting with any confidence, right?
No, they're not starting with confidence, but there was a report of Cole Kmet saying that he wasn't being used enough.
Okay.
And that they want him to, that they're going to use him. They need to use him. Reports, I forgot who reported this, but they said we need to start using Cole Kmet a lot more. It's going to be interesting to see him, on the field a little bit more. So keep an eye out for that. He could be a good pickup.
Yep, that's all for the Thursday Night Football matchups. Let's talk about a league update.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Okay, let's talk about it. Our fantasy football league, the Fellowship of the Fantasy Ring.
Mm-hmm.
We shorten it to TFOTFR if you see that on any of our posts on Instagram.
Not that short still. TFO.
Not that
TFR.
short. Yeah. You actually called it the Ring once, and I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Ring. I like it. Why don't you tell us what you think? But let's give a little update on the guys in our fantasy league. Highest scorer this week was Jordan Westfield.
Once again, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Was it? Maybe. I don't remember. I remember what happened last week was that the highest scorer went up against the lowest scorer. And unfortunately, that happened again. I was the lowest scorer. I had Kenyon Drake and Calvin Ridley, and we both know how that went for me last week. I only scored 81 points. A big, big disappointment for my team. Wesley, though, trades for Joe Mixon, and then Joe Mixon puts up 40-plus points.
Honestly, you can't script it any better. Sometimes you just get lucky. You just get lucky. And what's crazy is that the guy that traded Joe Mixon had Austin Eckler, and Austin Eckler got hurt.
Unfortunate.
And now he doesn't have a running back. Like, it's just unlucky. It's really just unlucky.
It is unlucky. You know what? I'll talk about this a little bit later. We want to give you a week 4 recap. We asked the guys from our league to tell us what they thought about this week. We always post this on our Instagram as well if you'd like to check it out there. But let's hear a week 4 recap from the guys.
Yo, FantasyLand Football.
Hey, Prestige Worldwide here.
Week 4 is over.
It's Jordan, a.k.a. JB, a.k.a. Dirty Mike and the boys.
What it do? It's Baka.
Luke here, checking in after week 4.
This week sucked. 2 players on field who got 0 points,
lost to Daniel. Eckler got injured.
I made a bold projection last week that Steve needed a humbling, and I dished one out to him.
Managed to beat Zach Savage as well, which is always an achievement.
All I gotta say is I'm happy to be where I am. Shout out to my boy Chubb, praying for a quick recovery.
Matched up against Joe.
It was a tough night, sleeping.
Managed to get the victory, ruin his unbeaten record.
Realizing that I lost the battle to Luke this week. That should never ever be said, by the way, that someone lost to Luke Rogers.
Surprised still I didn't get traded of the week last week because Joe Money Mixon popped off.
And the week I trade him, he decides to get 42 freaking points.
3-1 going into the league now. I've scored nearly the least amount of points, but it's about just getting the wins each week.
My trade, I feel like, did really well for me. Hunt will probably be RB1 with Chubb out.
Couple of trades up for grabs maybe. Come and get Devontae off me if you want him.
Jordan Westfield up next. He's already been talking smack over the phone, so let's see if he can back up his words with a good performance.
Go into week 5, matching up against Luke Rogers, who's the other rookie. Feeling confident if my players do everything right.
Next week's matchup against Zach, against the commish. You know how embarrassing is it going to be for him, the host of the podcast, the commissioner of the league, to be down 2-3.
Aside for next week, I believe I'm taking on Elijah.
Got Tommy next week. Hopefully, easy win.
We'll see what happens.
You know what? I'm ready to get that playoff spot.
See you in the playoffs. See you there.
Okay, Elijah's talking a little bit of trash there.
That's right. Everyone
said
going a little back and
easy
forth.
win.
Yeah,
he said easy win this week against Tommy. You can see the standings on YouTube, and we posted them as well last night on our Instagram.
Yeah.
A tough week for me.
I'm sorry, brother.
Obviously only scored 81 points. Yeah, it happens. It happens, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make it feel any better. But Jordan Burroughs, what a beautiful man.
JB, you mean he's a stud? Unfortunately,
Honestly.
he's married. Not fortunately. Fortunately for him. If there's any,
Unfortunately, he's got a very happy marriage that he's thriving in.
if we have any Fantasyland female listeners and you're looking at the video with JB, I'm sorry, he is married.
He is married. However, I'll tell you who's not married. Elijah. He's got a girlfriend, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. We all are getting married. Steve is very single.
Steve is very single.
Joe
that's
is
right.
single. That's all for now.
Yeah. We don't want... It could be something in the works for Joe. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. We'll keep you updated. But let's talk about playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Playoffs. Let's talk about the playoff picture right now as it stands in our league. Okay? Take me through the top 6 there.
Yeah, so look, obviously, from the top, myself.
From the top. Make it... Sorry. Go ahead.
Shout out to Cardi B. Look, once again, from the top, you have myself. I'll give you the first 6, actually. It's myself, Baca, Joe, JB, Zach, and Steve. Those, if the season ended today, that would be our top 6 right now. But look,
those would be the guys in the playoffs, right?
Absolutely. But there's a lot of shuffling this week. You know, Baca moved up a couple spots. He's second right now. And then you have, Joe Dickow, which is third. He fell down to the third, fell down one spot. And then JB.
Third, but he's 3-1. JB is also 3-1. Is that a surprise to see JB there?
No, I'm telling you, man. JB is the sleeper. I said it from the beginning. I thought JB had a good draft. I thought JB is somebody that is really smart when it comes down to, his players and when he should be moving him, who he should be starting, who he should be sitting. JB is, I think, his team as well is one of the strongest teams in the league so far, besides mine, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you have...
You have myself. Now, speaking of strong teams, I looked at the table last night.
Mm-hmm.
I have scored the most points in the entire league. I find myself at 2-2 because I've also had the most points scored against me in the entire league. So tell me how the best team is 2-2. Maybe I'm overthinking myself. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting at 2-2. Hopefully those numbers continue for me and the math just works itself out. And then we got Steve in the last place in 6th. On the edge right here, though, because Wesley, Luke, and Steve, and myself were all 2-2. So in 1 week, this could change entirely.
Absolutely.
Sam got his first win.
Yeah, he's slowly making his way. He's coming up.
Yeah,
it was his
1-3,
first one.
right?
Yeah, 1-3, slowly making his way up. Look, if you're 1-3 out there, the season's not over. Still confidence. It's literally you have one more win, and everyone that is 2-2, it's all gonna shuffle. So stay in there, keep going. The season's not over.
Finishing off the table at 10th is Elijah. Obviously, he's got some injuries that he's dealt with, and as well some COVID situations. Tommy, your boy Bricks, he started
rough.
Yeah, he started rough, but this week he also started Carlos Hyde because he thought that Carson was going to sit, but no, actually Carlos Hyde ended up sitting, and there were 0 points there. And Illinois is at 12th, still has a great team, but sitting at 0-4.
Look,
big RIP to Illinois.
Does have a great team. It's frustrating. There's so much potential. Look, if you go to our Instagram, but let me just show you: Deshaun Watson, Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, Odell Beckham, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce. He has Raheem on the bench. He has Julio on the bench. Like, you're kidding.
Yeah, he's got a great team. It just needs to work out. Hey, if you don't know any of these guys that we're talking about, we post about them on our Instagram all the time. You can go to our Instagram. There's a story highlight that says the owners. You'll be able to get to know all these guys. Great group of guys from all around the world. But that is all for the league. We will continually update you as time goes on. Well, let's get into some trades.
To trade this dude and don't even get a first-round pick, it's damn near a fireable offense. Clearly because of emotion, because it makes no football sense whatsoever.
Trade targets. We are going to give you 2 trade for and 2 trade away targets for week 5. Badaki, why don't you start us off with a trade for target?
That's right. My trade for target this week is Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh.
Look, you're probably wondering, he only had 2 receptions last week. He was only targeted 4 times. He doesn't have the targets. But to be fair, he is going to be getting it. He had his backup quarterback in there. And when Drew Lock was on the field, he was targeted a lot more. So I'm not concerned about that. Drew Lock will be coming back very soon, if not next week. Then the week after, he should be coming back. But once again, look, if you're also wondering, he's playing New England next week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So it's a bit of a tough matchup, and you're probably saying, he's playing New England, and then what? But that's when the season is going to turn around. Jerry Jeudy is somebody for the longer stretch of the season. Courtland Sutton is out for the rest of the season, and it looks like he is clearly the number 1 receiver there. He mossed that guy from the Jets. I mean, you saw what he can do. I think he's going to continue to be putting up some points.
It's I believe in the talent, even though the situation isn't great, kind of what Eli asked about earlier with Saquon. But
yeah,
I could see it happening. I'm a little bit hesitant on it, but
it's
we
actually
always
a good
see
lead
things
up.
differently.
Yeah, it's a good lead up. This is what's going to happen. Jerry Jeudy's playing the Patriots next week. They're going to shut him down. Then you trade for Jerry. Because people will be like,
so it's someone to be on the lookout for to start the conversation with. Or this is how you actually trade for him, right?
Yeah,
you can manipulate all your trades in different ways. So, Jerry's going up against New England. You're not going to play him. He's not going to have more value next week. Trade him to me now. You always have ways around these trades. I'm going to give you my first trade for target. T. Higgins.
No boy.
Okay, let's talk about it. Since week 2, T. Higgins has had 16 targets. Okay, in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
By the way, in the last 3 weeks. Since week 2, he's also been named a starter. You can see a trend developing here. T. Higgins was the 2nd pick for the Bengals in the 2020 draft. The future is now. They've seen AJ Green. We've all seen AJ Green. AJ Green doesn't look right. Okay?
Yeah.
If AJ Green was performing like AJ Green, then this would be a different conversation. But I believe that the Bengals think right now is the time to start developing this chemistry between these two guys. But maybe you still think AJ's got some potential, right? He was one of our drop candidates on the show yesterday. Here's the thing. If Zach Taylor says this is alarming for me. On AJ Green, Zach Taylor says he's doing what we want him to. Are you sure? Are you sure he's doing what you want him to?
Clearly not.
Because if that's what you want him to do, I've got no interest in AJ Green. I tried to sell him last week, AJ Green that is, and it didn't work out for me. T. Higgins is the future, and the future is now in Cincinnati.
The future is now. Where is that from? The future is now.
I don't know. Just something I've heard before.
That's from a movie. I can't think of it. Anyways, yes, T. Higgins. I like T. Higgins. Once again, AJ doesn't look like it. He is the future. T. Higgins. I'll continue with mine, and it's Robbie Anderson. Surprisingly,
this is interesting to me.
Yes, he was.
I feel like we're both not in on each other's trade for targets either. That's what's funny.
But let me tell you why I think Robbie Anderson is somebody you should trade for. It's clear. Number one, it's clear that Teddy loves the connection with Robbie. Okay. It's probably on the fence that he is number one because DJ Moore is there. But DJ Moore has been disappointing all fantasy owners, and not Teddy, Robbie is taking all the targets. Robbie was targeted 11 times last week. Okay?
Yeah.
He had 99 yards. It's crazy. He is Teddy's go-to guy. But Robbie Anderson is moved around a lot in that offense. He goes into the slot. He goes wide out. They do the jet sweeps for him. He has more opportunity right now, which is crazy. And this is even when Christian McCaffrey was on the field. So DJ Moore is starting to look like a decoy for this offense because, defense probably game planning for DJ Moore probably still because he is, a great talent. But Robbie Anderson, he's wide receiver number 9 right now.
Let me tell you why I feel differently. If the Panthers aren't winning games, then I would be more on board with this. But if the Panthers are winning games and Robbie Anderson is doing well, that means, in my opinion, game plans are going to start to change for defenses. They're not going to focus on DJ as much. They're going to focus on Robbie a little bit more. I don't know.
If that's the case, then
I could be wrong. I could be so wrong on this.
I guess that's the case. You can say that for everyone. Like you can say that with obviously Robbie is nowhere near Julio and Adams, all these people. But like so many defenses game plan to double Julio and nothing happens. Julio's still elite. But once again, it is Julio Jones. You can't really compare Robbie and Julio. Their talent is so much different.
Yeah.
I mean, Robbie Anderson is a freaking small guy. What is he, like 6 foot, 150 maybe? Like he's not
150 pounds, bro. I'm 150 pounds.
Bro, Robbie is not that big, bro.
Robbie is definitely bigger than 150 pounds.
180.
You look it up. I'm gonna go to our last trade for target, Antonio the Weapon Gibson. Okay.
Oh boy.
I've had a lot of people because I have him in half of my leagues. Actually, a third of my leagues. No, 2/3 of my leagues. Wow. I have Antonio Gibson. He's currently the running back 18. I've had a lot of people try and trade for him before this last week. And people were saying things like they're playing the Ravens and Ravens are a great defense and you don't even need this guy. He's on your bench. He's a weapon. He's explosive, and Washington knows that. He's had a touchdown in 3 straight games now. And let's look at the upcoming schedule for AG, okay?
Right.
LA, the Rams. Decent, but here's the good thing. While the Rams are good against the run, Antonio Gibson played more wide receiver than he did running back last week. Which means they are... And by the way, he got 13 carries. And he still played more snaps at wide receiver.
Yeah.
This is a PPR dream scenario. Okay? Again, upcoming schedule. The Rams. The New York Football Giants. The Cowboys of Dallas, who ask people to score points on them. The New York Giants again. The Detroit Lions. The Cincinnati Bengals. And the Dallas Cowboys again. Is there a better schedule for a running back for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks? Because there's a bye in between there. Is there a better schedule for a breakout running back in the next 8 weeks? He's explosive. How I would try and explain it to you in a comparable term from last year is Miles Sanders. It took a while for the Eagles to let Miles Sanders be Miles Sanders last year. But once they realized what they had, they said, okay, let's let this guy do his thing. And I believe that the game plan is, we've seen it week after week, and it's slowly going up and up and up. I am trading for Antonio Gibson if I don't have him before this amazing stretch of games.
Right. Look, I definitely agree with how he is going up. And, like, I think week 2 he had 12, week 3 maybe 12, or no, like 12 or 13, and then last week he had 22, which is a big jump. I think that Antonio Gibson is still somebody that is iffy for me. He has a great schedule, you're right, but he's not on a good team. I don't know.
I want to remind you. Okay, I want to remind you who put up 20 plus points against the Giants. Jerick McKinnon. To be clear, obviously the 49ers is a much better rush offense than the Washington football team. But this, if you want opportunity, if you want to buy a little bit low because you believe that there is a breakout coming, Antonio Gibson could be a top 12 running back for the next 8 weeks. So
then for the listeners, then how can I trade for Antonio Gibson? Who am I giving up? Am I giving up Todd Gurley for Antonio? Am I giving up
without a doubt?
Am I giving up not James Conner?
You're not giving up James Conner.
Kenyon Drake?
Oh, if someone will do that, 100%. I would much rather have Antonio Gibson than Kenyon Drake.
I just think that Antonio Gibson's floor is a lot lower, extremely low, when it comes down to somebody like a David Johnson or Kenyon Drake. Like, I think
I would rather have Antonio Gibson than David Johnson, Kenyon Drake, Nick Chubb rest of the year. Look, and again, what is fantasy football other than making very educated guesses? And that's what we're doing, right? It's like betting on players. So that is our last trade for target. Either take the chance and see if it pans out or don't. Yeah. We're going to give you some trade away targets now, okay? And again, this segment is always a little bit controversial because you're like, how could you trade away this person? Mm-hmm. We always love to sell high and buy low. That's right now, my first trade away target is Odell Beckham Jr. Our giveaway.
Our giveaway.
Our giveaway of the month. I love OBJ as a player. I would love OBJ in a different offense. However, this is a run-heavy offense. Chubb going down, I think that does help you sell OBJ. Okay? Here's how you sell him. Hey, Nick Chubb just went down. Where do you think all these opportunities are going to go? OBJ. Look at what happened on Sunday. The dude was running trick plays and jet sweeps. That's what's going to happen every week, right?
Right.
This is how you're about to sell OBJ. He comes off a 38-point PPR game. But let's take a look at what he said a week before this game happened. He said, and I quote, "It is not going to be a big numbers year for me in 2020. It's just not how the offense is going to work. For me, I believe in the talent, and I love OBJ. Right. But I think you need to sell him high right now." How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I definitely agree with it. There's a lot of ways to manipulate this trade to get what you actually want for a longer period. I think what is hard for me is who am I trading him away for?
Okay.
Because
would some examples help?
Yeah.
Okay. Massive game from OBJ. Let's say someone offers you Keenan Allen. I'm taking Keenan Allen. Let's say someone offers you Cooper Kupp. I am taking Cooper Kupp. Let's say someone offers you Terry McLaurin. This is going to be interesting. I am taking Terry McLaurin.
Shout out to Terry. I got Terry. I love Terry. Scary Terry. Look, interesting.
Are you taking Terry?
I'm taking Terry.
In that situation?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Terry McLaurin.
Bagel Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
He put it in reverse this last week, and oh my goodness.
Look, I think it's really, I think it'll be hard to let go of OBJ because I think I'm on both sides here. You know, Chubb's out. I think his volume is going to go up. And the other side is as well, you know, you can definitely sell him for a lot more value, but OBJ is value. So let's see. I'll continue with mine though. My trade away for me, we just talked about him, is Kenyon Drake. Look, it's hard to trade away Kenyon Drake right now. I know that. But once again, this is the same thing with the Jerry Jeudy situation. Kenyon Drake's matchup next week is a little bit better against the New York Jets. A little bit reverse, actually. Jerry Jeudy had the bad matchup, so you want to get him low. And Kenyon Drake, you can potentially sell him high next week against the New York Jets. He's been terrible, let's be honest.
Yeah.
He is not somebody that we thought it was going to be. We had all this praise that Kenyon Drake was going to put up these numbers. You know, he's on a great offense. He has Kyler Murray. DeAndre Hopkins is on the team. This offense is going to be explosive, which it is. But Kenyon Drake is not explosive. Kenyon Drake is not somebody that you thought he was going to be doing. You didn't think he would be performing this bad in the beginning of the year.
So let me ask you a question though. Are you trading Drake now? Because I feel like you're not going to get any value for him now.
You're right. I'm not trading him away now.
What about after this matchup against the Jets?
After this matchup
when
against
you're
the
thinking
Jets,
about it?
Yeah, 100%. Look, if somebody comes to you right now, tries to sell him, is trying to lowball you for Kenyon Drake, it really depends on it. I feel like somebody's going to try to lowball you with the examples that I can think of would be Actually, great question. Kenyon Drake, I don't know if I said this, or Antonio Gibson.
I think we did talk about this, and I did say Antonio Gibson.
You did? Okay, never mind. I would definitely still keep Kenyon Drake. I think when you look at trades, I think I would, right now, from what I'm seeing, I'd rather have Todd Gurley over Kenyon Drake. As an example.
That's
I would rather have DJ over Kenyon Drake.
Okay.
And these are guys that Kenyon Drake you probably got in the first round, you know, maybe late, early second. And look how the tides have turned. You know, DJ you probably got third, fourth. Todd Gurley you got fourth, fifth. Like, or around there. Like it's really interesting. I don't like Kenyon Drake anymore.
You want me to sum up Kenyon Drake's year so far?
I'm listening.
That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful to perform like that.
Absolutely pitiful.
Yeah, it's
Drake,
hard
please.
though.
Please,
I understand.
Please, Kenyon, you can't be tweeting telling people that you're gonna bless someone whoever trades for you in fantasy. Come on, bro. Anyway, on to our third trade away target, Nick Chubb.
Oh boy.
Let me explain this one a little bit. Because
this is interesting.
This might be obvious to some people, but it might not be obvious to some others, right? Best case scenario, Nick Chubb is out 6 weeks.
Right.
I want you to think about how long 6 weeks is, right? This isn't week 1 like CMC, and he might be back in week 5, week 6 or 7. If you have Nick Chubb right now, you're not going to have him until at minimum week 11. Tell me, what's the value in Nick Chubb if you're not going to have him for 6 games at a minimum? You will be at week 11 trying to fight for the playoffs. Right now, let's say you're 1-3, you're 2-2. Nick Chubb is actually no good to you at all, right? Now, to be clear, you don't want to trade him away for absolutely nothing because you would rather hold on to him and see what he is when he comes back than trade him away for absolutely nothing. But see if there's someone in your league who doesn't really know his situation all that well just yet. See if you can trade him a little bit higher. And I think we already said this about Antonio Gibson, but maybe there's a good trade out there. Luke Rogers in our league, the fantasy ring, he sent me a trade last night. Said, hey, do you want to do Chubb for Antonio Gibson? I said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb is out 6 weeks. And then I said in a reply, here's someone I would be comfortable with giving up for Nick Chubb. Myles Gaskin. You might listen to that and you might laugh. But here's the reality. Myles Gaskin is going to have more than half. Nick Chubb will have half the amount of games that Myles Gaskin will for the rest of the year. Okay? So if you want value, you need to understand how little value Nick Chubb has right now from this point of the season onwards. Okay? If you're in a place and you're 4-0 or you're 3-1, you can probably hold on to Chubb and just wait it out. But if you're not in that place, you seriously need to consider trading away Nick Chubb and trying to get as much value as you possibly could.
Absolutely. I think Nick Chubb is somebody that you can definitely try to get. Look, I'm 4-0 and I'm highly considering trying to go for Nick Chubb just because of my position. Yes, he will come back later in the season, but this is somebody that I can have on my bench. And then when he comes back, man, it's going to be great for the playoffs because in that playoff picture, 14, 15, 16, he's playing, I think week 15, he's playing the Giants, our Giants, and then he has the Jets. So imagine that being your playoff picture for Nick Chubb with Nick Chubb on your team. Like
that could be the way you sell it, to be honest. That could be the way you sell it for a player like Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. So
right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think that is something that you can really get if you are in the position to do it. If you want to take the risk, look, that's on you, but it's a risky thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue with mine. My last and final trade away is Mike Davis. Mike Davis, look, he's been doing great filling in for CMC, and he's going to be relevant soon. When CMC gets back, look, it's still probably a little bit early, so it's maybe not time for you to sell him this week, but maybe next week, or maybe start putting out those feelers.
That's the thing, right?
We haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything from like the reports from Chris McCaffrey, how he's doing, if he's been at practice, if he's feeling better. So it's still a bit early, I think.
It is early. However, I think if you wait any longer, I don't know what value is going to be there anymore.
Right, because once that person hears, once the league gives a report of CMC, regardless, everyone's going to be like, Mike Davis is nothing.
It will literally change like that. You're right.
Exactly.
In a snap, it will change everything. Pretty much like the Avengers, like Thanos changing the entire Earth, getting rid of half of the population. Anyway, as soon as there's a report that comes back that says CMC has a chance to play this week, there's no value.
There's no value in Mike Davis. So look, try to get it. Like I said, get the feelers in. He has a great matchup against Atlanta this week. Once again, he's been doing great. Try to sell him. A lot of running backs, a lot of fantasy owners are hurt right now. People are struggling. Your Nick Chubb owners, your Saquon owners, like all these guys are hurt. So maybe you can sell him. Maybe you can sell him. Maybe get some value. I had a trade offer including Mike Davis, and Cooper Kupp was on the other side. It just really depends. There's a lot of value. People are hurting. People are struggling. Mike Davis is my guy to trade away this week.
I love it. Send us a DM. Tell us if we're crazy. Comment on our YouTube video. Tell us if we're crazy. we like to give you one bonus in this segment. It's a risk taker. We're not going to spend very much time on this at all. Why don't you give us the risk taker? Explain to the audience what that means.
Yeah, look, a risk taker is somebody that, like we said, it's a risk. We don't know if he's going to perform. We don't know how they're going to be, but you can put him on your lineup, flex him. If you're really struggling, this is somebody that you can take the risk and, hopefully he can perform for your team. But this week, our guy is Le'Veon Bell versus the Arizona Cardinals. They released Kalen Ballage. And look, he's gearing up to come back.
Yeah, I think the main thing to focus on here is probably volume.
Right.
So when you're trading for Le'Veon Bell, you're probably not having to give up very much.
No.
Right?
Mike Davis.
Yeah,
Mike Davis.
Exactly. Try and get Le'Veon Bell from Mike Davis, right?
Absolutely. That's such a great trade offer right there. Look, Mike Davis, do a little package, get Le'Veon Bell, because Le'Veon Bell is going to be relevant for the rest of the season if he stays healthy. Obviously, we know he's not on the best offense. It's not the best matchup against this Cardinals defense if he comes back this week. But once, like Zach said, there's so much volume, there's so much opportunity there. They released Kalen Ballage, which means something. That says something for Le'Veon Bell, that he could be coming back and he could be gearing up. It's a risk, but it's definitely somebody that can definitely pay off in the long run.
Definitely could. Hey, thanks so much for watching or listening to the episode today. We have a great episode coming up. Not next week. No, this episode's coming out in 2 days. Okay. Week 5, start, sit, advice, and Hail Mary matchups. I love Hail Mary matchups. I don't know why.
It. It's pumped. Sometimes you just got to throw up a prayer.
That's right. When the praises go up, the blessings come down. Hey, thanks so much for listening in. By the way, like we said earlier in the show, we are doing a signed OBJ jersey giveaway.
That's right.
From RSA, our official partner in this giveaway. Head to our Instagram to see how to enter at FantasyLand Football. While you're there, give us a follow. You can follow us on Twitter at FantasyLand_FB. You can watch the podcast on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And you can listen to the podcast on any platform. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please drop us a review. That would be extremely helpful. Oh my goodness. How many days is it till football? Just one, right?
Just one. No worries. Still 24 hours. Look, I just want to give a nice little reminder for everyone that's doing the giveaway. Make sure you do all the steps to enter. Obviously, we have bonus entries, but I think we see a lot of people that will follow, comment, but maybe they forget to like the post, for example. Like
right.
It's little things like that. Like you don't want to miss out. It's really simple. It probably takes less than a minute to really get through the whole thing. Once again, we have bonus entries, which is great, and that can give you more of a chance. But if you just want to do just your regular entries, like I said, follow us on Instagram, follow us RSA, like the post. I forgot the other one already, but go on to Instagram. Make sure you at least do the minimum, and then you're fine. Just so you can officially enter. Because I see a lot of people do that. I just don't want don't want the Fantasyland community to miss out on that.
100%. Don't miss out on these giveaways. Big shout out to, again, Rayon and Lane, who are our previous winners. That could be you. Could be you.
Yeah.
You never know. But thanks so much for joining us on the show. We'll see you on the next one. As always, see you there.
See you there.
Hey, yeah, you, the one listening to this podcast, you made a good decision today. Keep making those good decisions. You know what? Go ahead and do a little dance right now, like no one's watching. 'Cause you deserve it.